These pastry-like cookies are called Rugelach, or Rugelach, or Rugelach. Tomato. There's a lot of different pronunciations, but fortunately, they're pretty easy to make and delicious to eat. What you fill these bite-sized delights with is limited only by your imagination. Jams, chocolate, nut butters, chopped nuts, and cheeses are a few options, but let's start with the tender and flaky dough, which can remain the same for both sweet and savory variations. Combine gluten-free flour, baking powder, and salt in a large mixing bowl, stirring it all to combine well. Then sprinkle in small cubes of very cold butter and cream cheese, coating them in flour first to prevent them from sticking together, and then begin flattening each piece with your fingers and working it in with the flour while leaving some of the butter still visibly intact. These flat pieces of butter will melt during the baking process, and it leaves air pockets, making the dough flaky and light. Once you have a scraggly mixture like this, combine an egg and sour cream together in a small bowl. Beat them with a fork until they're really well combined. Add the egg mixture to the flour mixture and use your hands to bring it all together. The dough will be very sticky, but keep mixing, and it will come together into a ball in a moment or two. Then wrap it in plastic wrap and store it in the fridge while you work on the filling. Here we have chopped walnuts and a tangy goat cheese and fig jam that I'm combining together so that it'll spread easily. Cut the slightly chilled dough into 4 pieces and sprinkle the work surface and dough with flour. Roll the dough into a circle that's about 1/8 of an inch thick. Then spread the cheese and jam mixture on top. Sprinkle with chopped walnuts. And use a knife or a pizza cutter to make 8 wedges. Then roll them all up from the wide edge to the point into tiny bundles of goodness. In a small dish, beat an egg and water together for an egg wash. So let's pause before we go any further, because Rugelach are notorious for this, burnt bottoms. It's because the jammy fillings will spill out and burn against that hot sheet pan. But the problem has been solved. By elevating the cookies and baking them on a rack, air circulates, keeping the bottoms cooler and preventing them from burning. Just brush on some egg wash, sprinkle with some chopped walnuts, and in the oven they go. They come out of the oven lightly browned and puffed up, sweet, tangy, buttery, with a little nutty crunch. Another tasty combo, chocolate and crushed Starlight mints or candy canes, drizzled and sprinkled with more on top. Or fill them with roasted garlic and finely grated Parmesan cheese, then sprinkle everything bagel seasoning on top. Check out how light and flaky they are. This is apricot jam with chopped white chocolate and salted roasted pistachios. Then a little chocolate drizzle and a sprinkle of nuts on top. Tender, flaky pastry, endless options for fillings, and no burnt bottoms. That's some Rugelach to write home about. You can find this recipe and many more at homewithshay.com. Shay Ryan, ABC Action News.